Hey guys, and welcome to another video of Bet9ja options and what they mean. Okay, so today I want to talk about the correct score option of the Bet9ja website. So let's get to it. I'm already on the site, so I have to select a match I can use as an example. So I want to use the Olympic tournament. So I'm going to go through Bet. I'm going to soccer. Select international and you choose Olympic tournament. Now I'll be making use of the Egypt versus Spain match that is scheduled on 22nd July to 2021. That's about, that should be 3 days from now. Okay, so we'll go to the drop down option and we'll choose correct score. Now under this correct score option, we have about 26 options. So, but if you notice, there are like score lines with odds attached to each score line. So, we're going to look at them one by one. What the correct score means in general is that you are trying to predict what the scoreline of the match Egypt versus Spain will be at the end of the game. So if you look at the options listed under the correct score for Egypt versus Spain, you have 0-0 to about 4-4. Then you have the other option. So we'll look at the 0-0 option. The 0-0 option means you're expecting the game to end at 0-0. So if you select the 0-0 option, you highlighted in red, it means, which is 10.75, it means you're expecting Egypt versus Spain to end in a draw. If you place 100 naira bet on this option, you are expected to have about 1,075 naira. So let's look at the 0-0-1 scoreline. This 0-1 scoreline means you expect Spain to beat Egypt by 1 goal. That means at the end of the game, it should be 1-0 in favor of Spain. And the odd attached to that is 5.60. So we go to the next. Same thing applies with the 0-2 option. Here you expect Spain to win the game by 2-0. That means at the end of the game, it ends at the score Egypt 0, Spain 2. Same thing applies for the 3-0, the 4-0, or the 3-0, the 4-0. So all these from 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, all of them are associated with Spain's win. That means either Spain should win 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, or 4-0. Note, you are not allowed you're not allowed to choose all four options in one bet. As you can do that, but it doesn't make sense. Like, take for example, if I chose these four options and I go to the cash out. If I go to place my bets for the four options, notice here that it has been split into four. That means I'll be placing 100 naira bet for each of the options rather than 100 naira bet for four options in total. So if you place 100, so at the end of the end of betting, you will realize you are spending 400 naira in this bet because you selected four different options under one match. So here the minimum, if you at the end of the match one of these options actually succeeds, the minimum pot earning you can earn here is 500 naira. That's minimum, means that if the match ends in a 1-0, that's for the mean score, which is 1-0, you earn 500 naira. But if you enter the max score, which is 40, you end up having 1,150 naira. So it's actually good, but there are instances where this will not work. Such an instance is if Egypt scores at least one goal. That means this whole four games is bad. So you should be wise when choosing multiple options of on under one match. So let's go back to where we were. We were under. So we are back to where we were. Egypt versus Spain under correct score. So now, if you notice, I explained for the 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, and 0, 4. So now the next option here is 1, 0. So it's more like the opposite of the previous option. So 1, 0 here means you're expecting Egypt to beat Spain by one goal. And the next option is a draw, which is 1, 1. Here you expect the match to end in a draw 1, 1. Same with 1, 2. 1, 2 here means you're expecting both teams to score, but Spain to win by 2 goals to 1. So the score has to end at exactly 2-1 for this bet to pan out. Okay. Now, another thing that I would like to point out is if you notice all these odds, there are some that are ridiculously large. I think, in my own personal view, I think the cause of this is when you look at the two teams involved. Notice that any odd that is large has Egypt being in favor of winning the game, or is a draw that has a ridiculous scoreline. So if you look at the 1-0 here, that is 24 odds. It is a prediction that Egypt will beat Spain. But when you look realistically in the FIFA ranking, yeah, Spain has a very high or top position in the ranking, while Egypt is low, like 20 to 30 or so. I'm not sure, but I think Spain is ranked higher, which means that their team is stronger than Egypt. So any team that has strong players, or rather any strong team versus any weak team, will have the weak team having a higher odd of beating the strong team. So when you are choosing, you choose wisely. Okay, so basically the whole scoreline here applies to the explanation given before. From the 3-1 here, from the 3-1 here means that you're expecting Spain to beat Egypt by 3 goals to 1. Same thing here, this 3-0 here means you're expecting Egypt to beat Spain by 3 goals to 0. That is why you have the 159 odds. Now, look at this odd. If you place a 100 naira bet here, that means you are like, and in the end, Egypt beat Spain by 3-0. You automatically have 15,900 naira. That is why it is a very ridiculous amount of odds. It has a very ridiculous amount of odds. So now let's go to the order. The order here signifies any scoreline that is not among the scorelines listed under this correct score option. So if there is a scoreline, if the game ends in any scoreline that is not listed among the options above, it means that this 10.75 odd is a good bet that you chose, is a good bet. So when you look at it, that means the game starts counting at 5-0 up, because the last valid option scoreline given by the Bet9ja website is 4-4. So when the game ends at let's say 4-5, or 5-4 or 5-0 or 5-1 and above, that means this is a good choice. So you should think carefully before choosing it. Yeah. Now for the correct score multi one, if you look under that option, you will see a bunch of score lines attached to one odd. For example, let's highlight the first odd there, 2.60. Hold on. Highlights. Yeah, okay. Now, for that 2.60 odd, we can see under that odd, on top of that odd, we have 0011 slash 11 slash 01 slash 10. Now, what it means is that if you are choosing this 2.6 odd, it means you are expecting your game to either to end with either of these options on top. That means you are expecting the game Egypt versus Spain, to end either in 0-0 or 1-1 or 0-1 in favor of Spain or 1-0 in favor of Egypt. Same thing applies in the second option here, which is the 2-0 slash 2-1 slash 3-0 slash 3-1. Now, if you see if you look at the first odd and the second odd, there's a large disparity. Like I explained in the earlier correct score, why that is because using the current strength of the teams involved, which is Egypt versus Spain. Now, if you are looking at it realistically and you are expecting Egypt, which is the home team, to win 2-0 or to win 2-1 or to win 3-0 or to win 3-1, it is in a realistic manner very, very hard or rare for such a thing to occur. So that is why you have a very large odds, 21. That's 21 odds. It is not that it is impossible for this to occur. After all, football, and in football, anything can happen. So when choosing, you have to be very careful. Do not be sucked in by the large odds, so that you won't end up losing your money. But if you are sure, or if you wish to take a risk, then it's all up to you. Same. So for this one highlighted in red, it means you're expecting Egypt to win 2-0 or 2-1 or 3-0 or 3-1 in the game Egypt versus Spain. So let's go to the next one. In the game Egypt versus Spain, for the third option, uh, for the third option, you're expecting the game Egypt versus Spain to end either in 0-2 in favor of Spain, or for both teams to score, and the game should end in 1-2. That is Spain 2 goals and Egypt 1. Or you're expecting the game to end in Spain's favor at 3-0, or you're expecting the game to end in Spain's favor at 3-1. That is why the odd is 2.01. The people putting these odds actually, they know how to put the odds, because if I was uh, a, a person that bets based on rankings and team strengths and whatsoever, I would actually choose this one. Why? Because Egypt is a good team, but as with all African teams, against a team like Spain, I would expect Spain to beat Egypt by one of these score lines. I wouldn't expect too large a score line, because Egypt is also a strong team, and most African teams are actually hard to score against. But they find it hard to score their opposition. So I would actually predict this 2.01, but that is my own um, prediction. I don't really. It's not as if you just follow whatever I'm saying. So you should choose wisely. Going further, You have the next odd there. You have 16 odd. That means you're expecting the game to end in a draw 2-2, or you're expecting Spain to beat Egypt by 3 goals to 2, or you're expecting Egypt to beat Spain by 3 goals to 2, or you're expecting the game to end in a draw 3-3. That's why you have the 16 odds. 16 odds there. Okay, going further, we have 53 odds under correct score multi 1. That means you're expecting the game to end either in favor of Spain, in favor of Egypt 4-0, or in favor of Egypt 4-1, or in favor of Spain, in favor of Egypt 4-2, or in favor of Egypt 4-3. So for these 53 odds, it means you are expecting Egypt to win by either of these score lines up here. That is 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, and 4-3. Now we go to the next one, which is the 7.10 odds. For this one, you're expecting, it's just like the opposite of the previous one. You're expecting Spain to beat Egypt by either 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, or 4-3. So that's why you have this 7.10 odd. Now, same thing, it brings us back to the FIFA ranking stuff and the team strength. Notice that any game that has Spain to win actually has the lower odd, and anyone that has Egypt to win will have a very very high odd. So that goes to show why it is very very um, risky to bet on all those high odds. Okay, for the next one we have the 4-4 slash order. A 4-4 slash order basically means you're expecting the game to end in 4-4, or a 4-4 draw, or any other scoreline that is above the 4-4 draw. So as it could be 5-4, it could be 6-4, it could be 5-0, it could be 6-0, it could be 5-1. Any other thing that is above the 4-4 scoreline, or that isn't among the odds in the correct score multi 1, then if you choose this is the if you choose this 4-4 slash order, that means your game and the score actually goes beyond what is under this odds. That means your game is good. Now, same thing applies in correct score multi 2. For the correct score multi 2, notice that you have for the first odd, which is 5.90, you have a 00 slash 11 outcome or variable on top. While for the correct score multi 1, you have 2.60, but you still have the 00 slash 11. But furthermore, you have the 01 slash 10. So basically, this means that for the correct score multi 1 2.6 odd, it means you have 4 variables, 4 outcomes for the game. While for the correct score multi 2, you have just 2 variables, that is 00 and 11. So you should be careful of what you are choosing. If you want to choose, or if you want to have more options for the end of more options that might pan out at the end of the game, you can choose the correct score multi 1 2.60 odds that has 4 variables. But if you choose the correct score multi 2, it has just 2 variables, which is 00 slash 11. Okay, let's go to the next one. You have 3 variables, but it's still draw, and it's 24 odds. So the 3 variables are 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, which means you're expecting a draw between Egypt and Spain. That's the game. You're expecting the game to end at either 2-2 or 3-3 or 4-4. That's why I have the 24 odds there. Same thing applies for the others. That is for this, which is the 12 0.75 odd. It's expecting Egypt to win by either 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1. Notice in the correct score multi-1, these options were not available. Okay, now let's go to correct score multi-2 with the odd 2.21. In this one, we are expecting Spain to beat Egypt by either 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1. Now, go to the next one. The next one is 40 odds. You're expecting Egypt to beat Spain by either 3-0, 3-1, or 3-2. This is very large odd and it's very attractive. You can imagine if you put 100 naira bet here, you get 4,000 naira. But it's easy to lose that 100 naira because this scoreline is actually ridiculous. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one, you have 0-3, 1-3, and 2-3. Means you're expecting Spain to beat Egypt by either 3-0, 3-1, or 3-2 in favor of Spain. Okay, same thing applies for the 54 odds in favor of Egypt and the 16 odds in favor of Spain. And one thing I also noticed here is that under the correct score multi-2, it actually favors one side of the team rather than both. So, because in correct score multi-1, you could either choose an option that favors either Spain or that favors Egypt. Let's take, for example, look at the 16 odds under correct score multi-1. You have the variables 2-2 or 2-3, which is in favorable 2-2 draw, or 2-3, which is in favor of Spain. Or you have the variable 3-2 win for Egypt, or 3-3 draw. So as you can see, this one actually combines both Egypt and Spain. The probabilities for both of them to end in either of the four variables above. But here, under the 16 odds given in correct score multi-2, you have it just facing one team, which is Spain. Or you have the variable panning out for just one team, which is Spain, which is 4-1 win for Spain, or 4-2 win for Spain, or 4-3 win for Spain. Okay, and now if you look at the last odd under the correct score multi-2, it is the 40/04/other or other variables. This means that you're expecting the game to end by either 4-0 for Egypt, or 4-0 for Spain, or for any other scoreline that isn't among one of the odds given here, which means it could end by 5-0, or 5-1, or 4-5, any other scoreline that isn't among the variables, the odds given under the correct score multi-2. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching, and the next video will feature for the highest scoring half, the over and under 0.5, and the over and under 1.5. Thank you.